Hey YouTube, it's Brooke. How's it going? Whew! How's everybody doing? I had another message that wanted to come through. Today my guys are kind of like, yep, it's time for you to start talking. Okay. Sure thing. Wow, it makes me nervous. I've got this nervous, like, oh shit feeling. Let's do an energy check-in. Let's see what energy we're going to be picking up. One more, please. Cards have really been talking to me today. The energy is very heightened. There's been a lot emotions are running high. Yeah, so I get, don't let your past hold you back. This is your south node. Okay, my Venus is in my south node, or close to my south node. My Venus is actually on my descendant, which has to do with my past life, right? So I have the keys to unlock 1:44 on my clock. I have the keys to unlock, right? The lessons, everything that was learned in that past life in my south node. But in order to do that, we must follow the north node first. So the best way that it's been explained to me is your north node represents the direction that you're meant to be walking in this life. This is the direction that you're meant to make money. This is what's going to fulfill 222 on my clock. This is what's going to fulfill everything that's going on, because we come into this life so connected to that most recent past life, we kind of regress back to it, right? When we regress back to it, towers start happening, and my guides want me to explain what's happened to me over the last 3 years so you have a better understanding of what I'm talking about, right? So Pluto has been retrograding in my 6th house for a while, close to my my natal Venus. Okay, this year the retrograde started right on top of my natal Venus and went back 2 degrees, and Pluto's about to station to end its retrograde, right? Coming up in the next week or two. I need to look at the date. I don't remember exactly the date. But I knew it was time to step out of that south node, start walking to my north node, start stepping more into my spirituality, start stepping more into owning the fact that I'm a Reiki Master, start stepping into the fact that I love hair, okay, because I love the relationships that I'm building, but I'm not feeling completely satisfied with where I'm at, okay? When you don't feel completely satisfied, it reflects in your money. I know how to build. I built my business two times when I went back to doing hair a couple of years ago, and built it, right? And was okay building it. Knew that it was going to take a little time, and I was definitely doing it a lot faster than I did the first go round. So I was teaching at Paul Mitchell, and our enrollment numbers went down because I was the second to the last person that was hired back on. I was one of the first ones to go. They start at the bottom, they let the bottom go, and then, you know, that's the layoff, right? So because they laid 5 people off, I was the second person to be laid off. Knew it was coming when they started talking about layoffs. I'm like, well, shit. I'm not saved because there's people here, even though I'd been here before, my time prior didn't carry over. I had to start all over from scratch. So I knew the layoff was coming. I'm at the bottom. I'm going to be laid off. Well, shit, that sucks, right? But I saw it as an opportunity to be able to go back behind the chair. Okay. Well, when you do that, you don't make money right away. And people think, oh, you're doing hair, you got a job, you're making money. No. No. You have to go out, you have to start meeting people, you have to start building relationships and all of that. Which, okay. So, my South Node being in the 6th house, okay, that has to do with 9 to 5. Jobs, okay? All right. I'm laid off. I go back to hair. Well, I'm on a schedule, right? Set schedule. Shit starts falling apart with where I'm at. The rent's really high, and I'm like, I'm not really happy here. So I move, okay? We get shut down with COVID. And I'm finally building back up, you know, finally building back up, finally getting back to a place to where, okay, you know, the flow's coming. I'm integrating my Reiki with doing hair. So I'm able to really come out of the closet. I can be myself and channel. Because I channel all the time, you know, and trying to hold that in and not be a channel, it's painful for me to have to constantly think about what's coming out of my mouth, okay? So, in being a clear channel and utilizing my hair and my spiritual gifts, I was blending the 2 nodes, 7:23 on my clock. I was blending the 2 nodes on, and didn't even realize it because I really hadn't even got into astrology yet, but I was bridging the 2. We get shut down with COVID. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. Everything that I'm trying to build keeps falling apart, right? I'm telling you this because this is where everybody's at. This is where everybody's at on this journey. I keep building this and it keeps falling apart. What is the missing piece that's going to help change what's happening, right? So I started studying astrology. I started realizing that Pluto was the one that kept blowing everything up. It kept blowing everything up. I'm not meant to be living a 9 to 5 job, setting on a strict schedule. Everything that I was doing was a 9 to 5 strict schedule job. Okay? Pluto rules death, transformation, all that good stuff. Right? Shit kept blowing up. Every retrograde season never failed. And I'm like, why does this keep happening? What's the connection? How do I change this? Started studying about my North Node. I'm like, holy shit, I've been trying to walk towards my North Node this whole time and had no idea what I was doing, but I was definitely connected to my guides, definitely connected to my higher self, definitely connected to my intuition to be able to plug it into the planets and what was actually causing the towers to happen. And in doing that, there become a powerful change in how I was looking at it. Okay, I'm not meant to go in that direction, so I'm not going to go in that direction. Now, where am I going to go? Because if it continues blowing up, I'm tired of building shit that's going to blow up. You know what I mean? I'd rather surrender to, okay, God, you have a specific thing that I'm meant to be doing to make money. So what is that thing? How do I take what I know intuitively, what I've been through, and make money with that? Well, my guides told me to start talking, start sharing, start reading cards. Okay, well, I'm doing that. is this what I'm meant to be doing? Is this the direction that I'm meant to be going in? Because all the shadow banning that's happening, how do I get around this? How do I continue doing what I'm meant to be doing? Then I get multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. Okay. What's holding me back from being seen? Disapproval. Disapproval from my family. Disapproval from my children. Disapproval from my mom. Disapproval from my stepdad. Because it doesn't fit what we have been taught to follow. We're supposed to be questioning everything right now, right? Because those of us that have been on this journey, New Earth, we know new things are being born at this moment. We know that everything's changing, okay? So I want to be able to live a life of ease and still be able to make money and still be able to create the life that I want. But for some odd reason, the pressure's on really hard for me to go back to that south node. Because everybody's getting a little freaked out that this is who I am. And I can't hide that anymore. So what do you do? What do you do? Right? We got this card just a minute ago. It's jump in. Adventure, say yes to change. You embrace the direction that you're going in. You embrace the direction that God is leading you. That is the whole point of why I had to go on that trip. To be able to see for myself. What am I meant to be doing? Where am I meant to be? You know, I'm meant to be with my kids. That's not even a question. That's the whole point of selling my house. I'm meant to be with my children. They're 16. I'm also meant to be building my life that I don't have with them. So in being able to blend the two together and try to make everybody, like, I give up trying to make everybody happy, but those South Node issues are coming up to be reviewed because we're in retrograde season for a reason. What is it that you keep going towards with your South Node that continues blowing up? Right? So, what's going to happen when Mars, because Mars is the planet of activation, in the next 4 months, what's going to happen when Mars goes through, might be 5 months, goes through and activates that South Node. Once that South Node's activated, you're going to be able to unlock the North and the South. Right? So, 6th house is, you know, your schedule, your day-to-day, your routine, your health. I have Venus there, so that has to do with love, and it's in Capricorn. Capricorn is structure, you know? So, am I going to have structure when I'm in a relationship? Because that's where my Venus is. Am I going to have structure when I fully step into my role of what I'm meant to be doing? You know, this is the part that I know it's coming, but I'm not quite sure how to navigate going through it, right? So what's going on in the heart space? We have Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realms. In the present moment, I get Trust the Niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And that's what this whole journey has been all about, is trusting that divine guidance, that intuition saying, hey, stop. And I'm going to tell you, I have been getting messages about a wreck that was coming, a warning of a wreck. My grandmother, Janice, the one that I see 122 with, she has saved me from many car wrecks. And, you know, the one was kind of funny. We had an argument in the driveway of my house over her telling me to change my underwear. Like, she was like, hey, Brooke, go change your underwear. And I was like, yeah, Mama, it'll be fine. I was actually going on a date. First date I'd been on in a long time. And this was the end of 2019. And it was one of those random, sends me a message, hey, you want to hang out? I was in the mood, spontaneous. Went, we had a great time, whatever. And this was date number 2. Yeah. So I'm getting ready and she keeps telling me to change my underwear, change my underwear, change my underwear. And she keeps saying, you never know when you might be in a car wreck. Change your underwear. And I'm like, my underwear's good. I don't need to change my underwear. Why do you keep telling me to change my underwear? I'm fine. And I'd go get busy and then I'd get to go leave and she'd come back. Change your underwear. So I'm having this conversation with her. I'm like explaining to her that I just went to the bathroom. My underwear's good. I don't need to change my underwear. Okay. And it hits me that I'm standing outside telling her that I don't need to change my underwear. And I'm like, oh my God, my neighbors probably think I've lost my mind because here I am having a conversation with my grandmother out in the open. Nobody can see her. I can hear her clearly. We can have a conversation. And she's telling me to go change my underwear. I'm like, I don't need to change my underwear. The underwear's fine. And I'm like, forget it. Just stop. I'm going. And I'm the second car to roll up on a car that was T-boned where I was going out to go have dinner with him. And in that moment, I was like, she was telling me to change my underwear because she was trying to delay me to miss the wreck. Okay? I'd been getting messages about a wreck coming, a wreck coming, a wreck coming again, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I've got to make sure I take care of my car because my car is going to be important. I need to really be mindful of the dead man's energy on that car because something's coming with the car wreck. Something is coming with the car wreck and I need to be mindful of what energy I'm bringing into my reality. Okay, because when we are connected to these realms, especially as powerful as I am, I have to be mindful of the energy that I let in. So, I am riding around looking at these houses last week. And we get to a stop sign. There is a truck coming towards us. And in the amount of time that I would have stopped and started to go, when I started to go, he should have been stopping. Okay? And I was like, you know, I'm just going to make sure he stops. And again, one of those random, you know what I mean? So I sit there and I'm looking, waiting, and he doesn't even hit the brakes. He just rolls on through. And I look at Sam and I said, he just ran that stop sign, right? And she goes, yep. And I'm like, okay, all right. a little shooken up by it that finally go ahead, pull through. We pass a building and the address is 122. And I looked at her and I said, she did it again. She did it again. That's the car wreck, okay, that was coming. And the fact that it was a red truck, my first car that I flipped was red, okay? So that's the car wreck that was coming. That was the change, the split. Are you going to listen and trust? You're getting the warnings. You know it's coming. Are you watching for the signs? Are you listening to the intuition? Are you listening to the guidance that you're being told? That's the reason why this trip was so important. He could have hit me in the driver's side. You know, what could have happened? Who knows? But we're always supposed to be trusting that. We're always supposed to be listening to our intuition first and foremost, because we may have challenges in the 3D that are people placed in our lives that are here to act out a certain karma. Those people may be family, and waking up to that is hard. What is not aligned must change. You know? So, let's see where we're going. It's been a long one. But, these are important things that my guides had asked me to share, but I didn't really want to share. Classic, sun and the moon in the 8th house, right? I like to keep everything in. I don't like to talk about it. Secrets. I don't like to talk about it because I've been told I was crazy. I'm too much in my head. Imagination. Stop making things up that are not true. Well, kind of love it when those things happen when you have witnesses, because then people know that you're telling the truth, you know? That's why people are supposed to have witnesses, because anybody can say anything, you know? Transformation, I feel this big time. A fresh new way of living emerges. There's definitely a lot that's still transforming. There's definitely a lot that is changing. Allow whatever is not aligned to fall away, because it's meant to fall away. It is so much easier to flow with life. 2333. It is so much easier to flow with life than it is against life. As you're going through this, just remember to stay grounded, go deep, explore your roots. Funny. Explore your roots. Okay? For me, my roots, my IC is Libra. 4th house. You know? And it's no coincidence that I'm here. It's no coincidence that I'm with my best friend from high school. I mean, that is my roots. That is where I come from. Take a risk. Venture forward. The great adventure. Okay? Whatever it is that you are releasing with that South Node, okay, the greatest reward's going to be on the other side. So, Neptune and Pisces for me is in the 9th house. That's media. Okay. Chiron 10th. That's how you make your money. That's your job. Heal the feminine. Heal the feminine. Taurus. That's the divine feminine energy. Past life. Venus. South Node. Right? Walk towards the North Node. And unlock it. Right? Dive into your birth chart. I'm telling you, there's things about astrology that blows me away because I already know it, but to be able to see it in the 3D and go, huh, I knew this, duh. Okay, this is how I navigate it now, right? I swear to goodness. Look like a little doom buggy. And then an old car. Can you see it? Alright guys, I love you. I hope these messages find you well. I am trying to talk about everything because I know so many of you are going through the same stuff. And it's hard to talk about the dark. It's hard to talk about the shadow because a lot of my shadow is at home, you know, and there's no way around that. I mean, it's all there. It's all black and white. So anyway, I hope these messages find you well. I love you. Bye.